good enough job here on Tino to slow him down, which again, the matchup does make sense for it. Beastmaster into Lifestealer, you're going to play with the boars, you can stand back, you're going to apply a lot of slows, he's never going to walk up to you and get some free right clicks off. So you should be able to do some damage to that laning phase that Pure would want to establish here.
The battle begins.
Jack's going to stick around for this top bounty. Aghanim and hello. Sprout block is going to be out. Shane Surface goes to the Shadow Realm will be okay. You know, to intervene as well, just in case. It is going to be, I believe, a 3-for-1 starter. CML being chased down already. Has to go for the natures that tends to survive them. Hero getting very close to securing the kill, but not quite.
But you do miss out now on just having perhaps enchant in lane or an impetus shot. You're going to have to just try to regen around here for CML, but not feeding first blood is always nice. Mid lane match, of course, we're seeing a rematch for Lewis and for GPK. Storm versus Ember once more, Chain Gang Ember again, and we saw Lewis kind of manage his mid lane really nicely last time around. And keen on seeing if anything changes here for GPK. Basically the same old story. You got that long range poke. You could just melt through the Flame Guard. It makes it a little bit awkward for Chain Gang Ember to kind of play nowadays, going for 1-1-3. And that just means Lewis, as long as no rotations come in, should have a fun time. But you have to always be cautious with Kata only around. You've seen this Nature's Prophet rotate around quite effectively once level 2, level 3 is up, blocking off the pathway, providing an opportunity to jump on top. It can be quite scary. And he's going to have some room. That's the one thing when you have a Lifestealer. Yes, this lane isn't great for it, but if you start to stabilize a little bit on Pure, the opportunity for Kata only to go away. The Lifestealer is still relatively annoying here to practice the kill, so long as you play your spacing right here for Pure.
So far, things are okay. I mean, as you get the level 2 balls up, I think you start to get a little bit more fade for Pure and Aghanim. And Tino being a bit of a Tino. This is one of his favorite heroes, the Beastmaster, so I anticipate he's going to have a pretty decent game for himself. But mid lane, we are having a pretty good time for Lewis once again. GPK already only 5 CS comparatively with the 11 and 5 off. So it's another stage for GPK on the Ember Spirit as well. Cuto, Tino, not going to need to dive, he'll let Shanks take the kill. Meanwhile, bottom, they'll try for CML, but he has the nature's attendance, they've proven to be enough to survive once again.
That it is. It's just a big nuisance to try to have to go into the Enchantress. Has that enchant now, so you do have yourself a basic Dispel, try to clear out, and maybe try to hold someone down. And for the side of Execration, I mean, you're having a decent enough start for Palos, all things considered. Moving the matchup into Omni Knight could be a little bit more annoying, but you always have that Tidebringer threat. You are relatively tanky yourself here on the Koka, so you're not going to be easy to shove away, even with the chain control threat that you are getting here from Save. It shouldn't be as hard for Palos in comparison to that Abaddon game that we were seeing last time around. So already some good signs for Execration early at the very least. It's just a matter of how much can be capitalized, because it feels like this game, the big difference for Exe is going to be Tino on the Beastmaster, right? Like last time on the Venomancer, he was a lot more passive, he was farming, he was getting more off fully along with the Hurricane fight, but more with Steam. Beastmaster kind of does the same thing, but it is more effective. It's Dominator, Overlord timing, shoving in top, having that presence, maybe even just getting a roar out, opportunistic kill start right here. Not looking great for GPK in mid. Again, a little bit of a repeat from game 1, if not maybe a little bit worse actually in comparison to game 1. It felt a little bit closer there for GPK in comparison to this.
It does. You don't have to worry about the bounty hunter in this game. There's one bright side, I guess. You're not going to have to be concerned about that hero moving in as Pure. Command by Tino here. Tino will retreat. They do have those level 2 balls up now, so they are trying to be very aggressive. Probably the easier target to aim down, but they'd much rather the Lifestealer if they can. They're going to be okay, but the harassment's certainly not going to be slowing down too much here from the side of Execration.
And on point again with just that positioning, that space.
Hold on. Miero's going to get caught down bottom. He'll pop the healing load. The shackle. CML will go for the chase. Miero should be perfectly fine. Top lane now. The chase on a Aghanim. Aghanim not looking too good. He'll go down. Pure still fighting a little bit, but does ultimately need to retreat. No more spells to throw out here for the side of Exa. He will leave. They've got Aghanim. They'll be more than happy with that. And of course, this is allowed. Oh, Pure. That's a tree. Hides behind it. quick thinking from Pure.
Yeah, a little bit cheeky. Did force out the Lotus usage out Shank, so missing out on the snipe. You do have some good sustain. Just a shared tango plus the sprout. A little bit of that longer tango to play with, some regen, kind of keep him in that lane. Again, very annoying here to try to poke out, but you are still lining up for a strong start for Exit. All these kills coming out on the Tino's lane, just adding up to that early start for that Dominator, for that Overlord timing we're looking for from him. And again, all the lanes are looking pretty clean from Exit. That lane for Carlos still getting pretty active here.
Save, bottom lane will be targeted. CML with the enchant being an absolute nuisance. They will find save, CML. As an edge player, John, you really enjoy that level 3 time. That level 2 enchant, always a pleasure to play.
He has himself a nice Warpine Raider already. And he could start to consider making some movements here into the 6-minute mark. Gets himself the tomato cube and kind of just deny the out from GPK.
He was very low up at top. He's got no mana for Rage either. He's just going to run the old-fashioned way, but he cannot do so. Tino will secure his life. Meanwhile, the Carlos will go down. So a pretty nice trade across the map here for BB Team. CML, he's trying to connect mid lane to secure power runes and maybe even force the T1 tower in. But they've got a siege creep, so they can start to apply a lot of pressure on that T1. GPK happily the power rune for Lewis. I think maybe you could just full commit to the tower if you really want to. Can you keep the siege creep alive long enough? The answer is probably yes. Here comes the next creep wave. He's on top, Tino. He's diving T1 towers. This is the style of play that Execrations love. Pure's been jumped. Pure, he can't survive it. Mid lane, they have shackled up at least CML, so CML will go down. Meanwhile, Kanaomi still trying to run, but he is going nowhere. Kanaomi will die. And mid T1 tower, John, it's gone. It is gone, no denying it.
Oh, they kept that siege creep alive. It was a very smart tomato creep pickup as well from CML. That aura gets when it dies, that buff, the little bit of extra attack speed for the siege creep, speeding up that push. Really good fortified timing there as well. For the side of Execration, you're finding those good trades because when it comes down to it, yeah, you're sacrificing a couple of bits here with Palos losing down bot a couple of times. Same thing with Pure up top. But the Kunkka does farm a little bit quicker than the Lifestealer. Mind you, you can kind of speed that up with the Infest here, of course, for Pure once that's up. He's stuck at level 4. He's forced to jungle early. Top's gone. And this timing now for Tino is key. Overlord's Dominator's already up, building into the Overlord. And we know what Tino can do on a good Beastmaster game. He can really start to pop off. Heck, he doesn't even go for Roar. Just goes for the additional level in Inner Beast, wants to keep farming, wants to keep pressuring lanes. And we've seen Tino do that a couple of times. If they don't need the Roar for kills, he's going to bypass it. He's just going to eat all the space in the world, deny some pivotal farm that BB team needs to find for themselves. And the rest of the team will kind of pick up the slack for him.
No, absolutely. It's classic Tino Beastmaster. You know, just give him the farm, let him have what he wants. He knows what he's doing. GPK, chains out, trying to get a power rune. We'll get lucky. Regen rune down bottom. We'll be able to secure. The Lords would have loved that. He will not have it. The team keeping around this Ember Spirit. But look at top lane now. T2 Tower almost gone. The Dark Troll Summoner of Tino proving to be a nuisance. And don't forget, you can have tools, dude. You have an enchantress.
Yep. Just have so much to play with. They are starting to walk up because, you know what, Beastmaster is barely tanky with all the stats he's just building up and is just lacking in quick
jump in onto CML, and he will not be able to heal up in time. Nice quick pickup for BB Team. Geez, the tempo of Exile, like the fact that they're already knocking on T2 towers and almost taking them down, it's a pretty big concerning for BB Team. I mean, you've got to find a way to slow the game down a little bit. Like, you're just losing a few too many objectives there.
I feel like this is the better idea that they had when they were going for the Venomancer. It's kind of the same style, right, for Tino. He's doing the same thing, eking up top, kind of taking space, getting that build-up he'd want. But the threat from the Beastmaster is much more apparent in comparison to Venomancer wards and that aura. So,
yeah, Saint's gonna get caught. Not look like he's gonna make it out, and he will not. Pure, though, to escape in his ancient Black Dragon form, and he'll be able to do so just fine. Through the Twin Gate. Alos was left alone down bottom. It's only Miro there, though, so he'll be perfectly okay. Here, of course, having a very nice time as well, we should add. He's been basically completely free farming down to this bottom lane, trying to work towards that Radiance build-up. And with the way the farm's going for him, it'll be up relatively soon.
And that's one way to kind of deal with a creep army at the very least. Kind of slow down, have some threat, the big group up. You are being a menace here with Pure, and we've seen this again with a Core Storm. Just taking that ancient creep, cutting off waves. Not really much you can do to poke back on the ancient creep at this point, at the very least.
Trying to GPK. GPK, not going to find the power in this side. Final illusion from Lewis to save in big danger. There is no Guardian Angel going to save the right now. Landing on 3 targets. Save still trying to get out somehow. Will survive. Now the 3-man change from GPK for the turnaround.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Save! This man, he's just been surviving everything.
Yes, find an extra. I mean, Execration just again going on the target that can't just
I mean, it's a big target if they can find this lifestealer. It seems like they can. You lose your support duo, but you do find a position 1 lifestealer. I don't think you can complain too much about that.
It's pretty equal in terms of net worth trade. Just a little bit more of a bonus actually on CML. You have been held back after all on Pure in terms of that build-up. You will take that. Again, this timing now in the Lifestealer is starting to slow down severely here for Pure. Barely above Chance, just 600 gold above the Dark Willow in terms of net worth at this point, which is not ideal for sure on this Lifestealer. His timing for something like, say, the Radiance is just not going to be all too quick. Map space has been shrinking. The vision game coming out from Execration, so clean. Look at these wards up top. Having a good line of vision into that top jungle, getting that information to see if they can, take these fights on mid, take these fights by the runes, as anyone coming in. There's a clean line of action coming out for Exe. And overall, I think, again, this is a good rebalancing from Execration in comparison to Game 1. The draft shifted a little bit more. The ideas are somewhat the same. Shifting the Abaddon for the Kunkka, shifting the Venno for the Beastmaster. And, BB team are also running a very similar draft, bringing in the Nature's Prophet and the Lifestealer, but the translation for Exe so far has looked a little bit more successful.
Shanks looking in, looking for the Brambles maze, won't really land it, but it does matter. Sure that it allows Lewis to get within range to secure a kill here with Tino, and they're all back up here for Tino, so you could try for another quick kill, and the tempo of Execration right now is pretty damn insane. Nobody's following these guys down the moment. Maybe now, Tino! He was completely alone. Everybody else just left the building.
A little bit surprising, he just kind of standing still, maybe again feeling safe with his vision on top. Good movement out. And again, you can't underestimate just how far your control is on BB team. Because you have Chain Gang, just fully remnant out the chains, very low commitment kind of movement out. Catch these heroes alone. And that's going to be some breathing room for BB team. 9-6, lead still standing for Exe. You still have that ramp up set here on Tino, but you are getting some recovery room out for Pure. And still slowly working his way towards the Sacred Relic, probably into the full Radiance. Like you were talking about on Niero as well, looking for his own Radiance timing to line up. And once you have that durable front line that's willing to run in, you will have the outfit, you will have that sustain, and it will be down to Execration to show us whether or not they can deal with all of these saves and all of this sustain that we saw even from Game 1. You have some answers for that Ench. CML, at least, with the enchant, can somewhat deal with some of these nuisances, but whether or not it's going to be enough, well, remains to be seen. Still, Tino is back up, gets himself a new ancient creep, Pure hides on hand, a little bit more attack speed to play with. Running around with the Wild Hunt, just a lot of attacks to kind of pump out here for a threat. Could look to just maybe snipe out bots somehow, although, again, the creep wave is fairly far. Smoke instead for Exe, trying to get a position in here.
If they find, it's going to be Save on the Shaman. Very nice scan though from Save. See them now, Palace in front of the blind torrent, barely missing out, and even the Bramble's not connected. Big sidestep from Save. They do still at least get the Shrine of Wisdom for their trouble, but Shanks and Kata, or rather Kata only finds the other one. Not really a big deal at all here for BB team.
I mean, at least it's not a 2-0 pickup. Still Kataomi?
Should get caught. Palos will move in. Kataomi. Look at the Sprout. Palos will hold on to the X. Let's throw the boat out. There's your X out now as well, and does find a nice simple pick off.
Chase from Lewis on mid.
Rage is close on Pure. He's going to be trying for this, but Sage is going to be there to try and save. Lewis looks like he's gone too far. Fluid will go down, and oh, you can't forget, Save did not die bottom lane, but Miero now, targeted by Tino and Shanks. Miero, Guardian Angel out, it won't make the difference.
No. Bigger trades coming out for BB Team, even though you find a few more kills here for X. I think losing Lewis is pretty detrimental. At the least, he does force out spells. You don't have the Mass Serpent Ward. There's no threat for a siege on any objective yet. While that spell is gone, top tier one's still healthy, mid tier one's healthy as well. These are key objectives to kind of clear out to start to shave some map control away from Execration. And XA are being very efficient across the map despite those losses. Right, like, we've got that steady build up on Tino, working into his big AC, more attack speed to play with. With Wild Hunt, these creeps will just start to machine gun through objectives. And you've got that build up as well, which is somewhat stalled out on Lewis, but going for the full Kaio Sange. The durability you'll get, the willingness to check the front line is massive. Look at this creep army from the Enchantress and the Beastmaster. It's just, it's massive. What do you do to stop this?
Not much. Not much. They'll glyph on. That'll do the job. Wants them back for now. Execration, maybe just wait out the next wave. Top the net worth for a very different game here for the Conquer. They say screw the T2 tower, let's just go Roshan. Why not? EB team's certainly not in a position where they want to try and force any fights.
No.
So the first Roshan of the game could freely be going the way of Execration. Probably onto Lewis, but I wouldn't even mind Tino, in fairness. I think in fact maybe Tino's the better option.
It could be. He's been the more susceptible target. Although I do feel like having the Aegis on Lewis does allow him to play that aggression that he loves to play. And yeah, it's just a safety net to the Storm. We'll have that backup now. For BB Team, they're doing a fine enough job of dodging, but you can't stop the push at this point. With the secondary life, with the creep army still around as well from CML, and that build up from Tino. No fortify anytime soon. You will be able to find these tier 2s. Top was already taken away earlier on. Mid set to fall, at least once the creep wave catches up. And BB Team, and this is the weakness of the draft this time around. You don't have that quick farm coming in for Pure. And it is just harder and harder to kind of find that space to get things going. The Radiance is up, it's a start, but you're not fully set yet.
They're looking to knock on tier 3 towers here, Execration.
Radiance
is one thing, but is it going to be enough to defend this? Bring in squad. Team. Slowly starting to chip away the HP pool of Tino. Half HP on the tier 3 tower already. Yeah, the dominated creep, and they do get it. They may have just gone back to find how many done. It's not going to be that simple. Maybe if we can find this next ancient creep, it might be enough to force them back. Execration still looking to get it through. Tier 3 tower. Almost there. Terrorized, being pump fake, won't come out. They'll find the dominated creep again. That should be enough.
This way, they've done enough damage on that tier 3 with very little commitment. Down to 500 HP. It's a lot of usable space for a BB Team. You've got some room to roam on Pure. You've got some room to, again, keep that build up here on Miero. And if you consider the difference between this and game 1, it's just that there's much more coming out from the other Execration cores. Again, we're getting that early impact from Tino. We're getting that early impact from Palos in comparison to his brother.
Being caught, terrorizing the land as well. Big kill for Execration. Here we go again. Mid T3 tower. A lot harder to defend when you haven't got GPK up. Mind you, he does have buyback, but committing buyback 90 minutes into the game to defend it, it's going to feel so ugly.
It feels awful. You don't want to have to do that. I'm just wondering how BB Team actually decides to play, because there is a lack of initiation. Maybe you can get Blink up here on save. Blink Hex, Shackles can kind of simplify things, but for now, it doesn't feel like there's follow-through for when GPK actually finds some good chain gang going. One set of racks down, another to go. There's just nothing clear presenting itself here.
Zip in, Lewis looking to find save in pretty big danger from Golden. Mira's gonna save him down. Pure is here as well, infested. now Pure just chasing. He'll finish off the job. And he needs to get out. He needs to get out. Or does he? Save. Being jumping an instant X. He will go down. Oh, these croakers, John. What are we going to do about this frog problem?
No, you gotta let them live. You know, they're just doing their job. They're spawning. It's just the way of nature. You don't want to have to disrupt the ecosystem. You're playing in their area. They have the right to be mad. And Execration have to be a little bit upset about that prolonged engagement not quite panning out. Look, they managed to get some decent value from the Aegis if you didn't die again on Lewis, but they do the damage on the mid. Here we go. And again, they just overextend just a tad bit. Lewis gets ahead of himself, trying to look for that front while the respawn GPK is coming in. And when the chain gang hits, it's a lot of control.
You realize how dominant this game is. If BB team start making a comeback now, that Croaker might be the MVP. Look at this.
Under attack.
Here we go. BPK jumps in. Tino looking for the raw dust. Get it and goes. Everyone's stunned. They've been fighting it. On Tino. Comes to Tino. Dropping low. Should go down as well. Gonna keep going. It's Tino down. Dropping the drop. Takedown safe finally. The thing with this Shaman pick, it just takes so long every fight to deal with save. Now BBT, they're back in the game.
They are evening it out, 14-14, 1K lead or less than 1K lead coming out for BB team. And for Execration, that's just, again, forced fight after forced fight. You don't have, you do have some protection, but Paolo's going to turn on the BKB. The chain stunts are coming in. Because of that last fight, you have the blink on save. And we were talking about that lack of initiation BB team outside with chains. Now that the Shadow Shaman can initiate as well, looking for these opportunities isn't too difficult for the side of BB team. Execration have to be cautious. That single target control, the nuisance of Shadow Shaman with that foul play on hand, it's causing problems in game 1, it's causing them problems here in game 2, and they've got to find a way to deal with it.
It's a shame as well, just the dominant start to the game, but now Miro top of the net worth, Pure catching up very, very quickly. Execration not feeling quite as confident as they once did. BB team. And Pure going right for the aghanim scepter as well on the Lifestealer. Make life very difficult. You know, we'll pick up the full AC on the Beastmaster, so they could hope to smoke up and maybe try again. And it looks like they may. Lewis also now having an Orchid up. It's just this Shaman is just so hard to deal with every fight. And the thing is, you've got to deal with it. You can't let him live.
No, it's too much control. Again, Lewis has been trying, but it's only really Lewis. Yeah, you can't afford to really have Palos or Tino caught out like that. The moment you lose, especially your Beastmaster here, your control, still somewhat there, but it's not as reliable. You need that roar, you need that first window opening up for Lewis. And you just need to find a way. Roshan's still a minute away as well until we see that respawn timer come in. You still at least have that map advantage here for the side of Execration. Look, their tier 1 mid is still standing, tier 1 top still standing. Both of these are still very healthy as well. So they're in no way of losing map control, but if you drop this next fight, it could be awkward.
It could be very awkward. BB team, let's see if they can do it. See if they can pull off this fight. Lewis is down. That is another lost team fight. BB team now in control of this game too. And what happened there? They just threw everything at him and nothing happened.
They threw everything and they forgot that there's an Omni-Knight in the game. The arrow is nearby. It's just in the side of the trees. I'm surprised Execration made that move. Because they know the issues with the Omni-Knight. They know the issues with the Saint coming in. They know the issues with the Shadow Shaman inside as well. And Lewis goes all in without a BKB, without any debuff immunity, and just gets stunned in the backline once more. Look at that movement. Very forced onto the Ember. everyone else hanging in the right spot from BB team, and it all just falls apart.
Palos goes down as well, apparently, in the meantime. Aghanim securing that one, and it's the thing we saw last game, like this Shaman Omni. It's the combination of these two is just devastating. When I kill the Shaman, not only has he got the innate, the foul play, but he's got repel from an Omni Knight, he's got Guardian Angel, he's got heals coming through.
So annoying.
It's a really yucky combination to have to play.
It's so annoying. You can see why, again, you know, Shadow Shaman is probably one of the most annoying heroes to play up against right now. This entire kit is just made to really piss you off for the most part. And you're seeing it here. Execration starting to get a little bit jumpy, starting to get under pressure, trying to look for these opportunities. And now they lose the lead fully. 6K up for BB team. They can control Roche axis at this point. They've set up that control on the triangle. They can cut off Execration quite hard in this game. For Exa, it does feel like we're getting to the point where a lot of your damage is mainly on Lewis. Like, right, it's down to the Storm. It's down to him to just jump into the back, try to kill someone off, try to get this BKB timing going. You've got your own BKB coming in here on BB team. See them move out with a smoke. This could be a big one. If you win the fight into Roshan, you stay in this game for Execration.
Oh, it's certainly so. Behind now, BB team, certainly the stronger team in this game too at this stage. Mid lane, Palos gonna show. BK with an ass damage room, gonna be spotted. Rooted up as well, but Miero's right behind him. We've seen this before. He won't make the jump. Posturing, trying to find the right targets. I mean, again, you've got to find Miero, you've got to find Safe. And when I say it's not even just one of them. Kind of has to be both.
It does. Easier said than done. Again, most of your initiation right now is just Lewis. So he has to be the one committing. And it's such a massive risk. Like, you don't have a blink up on Tino, he's going back for his
Finish it. CML not looking too good. GPK can't save instead, save. Maybe finally goes down. He's happy to drive us into this. Meanwhile, Lewis trying to zip TP away will make it out. Didn't actually buy back on save for this team. Not the worst overall fiability for Execration. You did have a 2-for-2 trade, still favorable for the BB team.
It's a little bit risky for Execration at this point. They buy back only on CML, but that enchant up.
I mean, they did buy back on CML. Problem is, he's going to always have to.
Yeah. I mean, it's a big window where you don't have to worry about getting that dispel on hand, trying to find some openings. The Enchantress was a pretty darn good idea. You've got the opening for Roshan now on the side of BB team. And Execration, where we're seeing the issues. Again, without a BKB on Lewis, it's harder for him to kind of commit. You are relaxing damage right now outside of the Storm. You need a BKB up as well on Tino. Still a long ways off from finding that. Full axe done now on Pure, so more uptime for Infest. Having that vehicle, you know, just being able to keep up with someone with a radiance burn on as well. Output here forward. And a secondary life as well. I don't know where you're going to find these solutions here from Execration, but you've got to find them fast if you want to get a draw here.
Another free kill, Shanks. Will go down. Pure picks up an Aegis for himself in the meantime. 6K advantage now for the BB team. Pure. To the ancient. These days, jump. Yeah. Lewis, gotta say hello. Not much you can do about it. We'll just zip TP away.
No, it's getting a little bit scary for Execration. Again, the short footage from game 1 kind of rearing around here once more. A lack of damage, need for BKBs, like Paulus is going full utility. Sanj and Yasha up. I don't know if you can hope for damage to come in from him later on. Tino still a ways off from that full BKB as well. And so is Lewis. Like, without that debuff immunity, you're always just going to get pinned down by Save. He has just been so on point in locking in that Storm and locking in any key movement from the side of Execration.
Big boy, Tino choosing to take the Coker for himself out.
That's your solution for control. It can help. You can't underestimate just a little bit of a stun and what it does in the middle of a fight if you manage to catch
Radiant's top
multiple.
tower is under attack.
It's just not going to be enough. You know, it might stall out. You might give Lewis a window if you play it right. But in terms of setting up for your own kill, a 1.4-second burst window just doesn't seem like it's going to be enough with your damage output at this point.
No, I highly doubt it.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's middle
Pretty
tower
good
is
tower.
under attack.
Somewhat invincible now as the Lifestealer. You've gotten to the stage where it's going to be a lot of effort to try and kill this man. You've got to do it twice at the moment, and we are going to have a 20-man smoke for BBT. He's on the CML in the mid lane. Bottom lane looks like there is this rotation. He's been rooted in place. He gets hexed up by Save. He's gone. Shanks is not making it out either. It was there.
That's a rough one. Again, without that debuff immunity coming out for Lewis, there's just no security. At least he's starting to get that gold build up. He's not going to have buyback if he will commit for that BKB. So you're still in a very awkward spot for Execration. For BBT, it's a matter of just riding this game out. Like, there's no pressure to end the game too quickly here on the side of BBT. You know you've got scaling. You know your matchup is pretty fine for Lifestealer. And you've got a lot of output still left. Like, you can start to transition to more damage now from Yarrow, starting to work his way into the Yasha. Your siege might not be as quick as Execration's is.
Radiant's middle tower.
You have so much durability. Sorry, Execution, you can't find an angle in anyhow. No outer towers left for Execration. Still a lot of time left on the Aegis. 2 minutes up. A siege just coming in here. BBT.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Dropped already. Just pushing out the top lane in the meantime. Team 3 tower not seeing the opportunity to really force a fight. Lewis meanwhile just creep skipping while he can. Get through that top lane of Barracks. Meanwhile Pure looking to chase down some heroes. It doesn't quite get there.
Radiant's
Look to retreat back towards the racks, and they do still have that siege creep. Hardy's still there. He's got the rope down back. Almost done with the top racks, but not quite yet. They're still going. They'll find the bottom racks. Pallox now needs to be a little bit careful, but he does find a mini barracks. But here comes the side of BBT. All this play. At some point you have to know what's coming. Yeah, you still get something for your trouble, at least an even trade.
No, it's still a better situation for Execration overall. I mean, mid's gone.
Tino forced the BKB run. Crocus stun. Very nice. And that's about it. BBT might even start heading back towards the bottom lane, honestly. It seems like they just want to remain on this high ground while they still have the Aegis up on Pure. 40 seconds, but it could commit for another tier 3 if they really want. Assuming they have a creep wave, that is.
Yeah, I mean, again, there's nothing holding them back, really. Aegis is about to expire, half a minute.
They should just be able to put a lid on this game if they want to. Aegis or not, without those two calls up, it's just hard to see a proper defense to come. And now CML will also go down. No buyback for him either. Really Palos and Shanks against the world. You up. The tier 4 towers. Try to play this one out. See if they can find the time for at least Tino to be back up. Jump it again, Miero now. Finding power. That's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage.